Hi, Maria. As the American government teacher, you have been following this Center election lawsuit more closely than anyone. I'm hearing crazy things, and I want to get the facts from you.
Gloria, I'm not only hearing bizarre things every day, but I'm reading the official correspondence from the town of Center that makes me wonder what is going on in Center's executive sessions.
I heard that the town sent a letter to Marilyn Marks and Citizen Center threatening them with a lawsuit for making a cartoon video critical of the town. Surely that threat is a joke.
Gloria, when I heard about the town's letter, I thought it was a joke in response to the cartoon. But it's posted online and you can see for yourself that it is official legal correspondence from the town.
But really, Maria, the town threatened Citizen Center for defaming the town? That is hilarious. Whoever heard of a lawsuit for defaming the government? Yes, imagine all the people who have criticized Center for the last 50 years, getting slapped with a lawsuit for bad-mouthing this town.
Center could be rolling in the money from fines from critics. Under the town attorney's theory, they can sue people who criticize Center Colorado. Think how many people that is. It must be thousands who have had something bad to say about our town.
Center can stop collecting taxes and live off the lawsuit proceeds and fines from all people who criticize Center.
Imagine all the people who are going to get sued for dissing Center. Teresa Bender from the paper will be high on the list.
And Adeline Sanchester, and Bill McLuck. Just imagine the lawsuit Nadine Bobcat is going to get against her. And that outsider, Lisa Circle-Yaks from Stonetown.
Town trustees must have lost it. If a city can sue people for criticizing it, imagine the potential windfall for Newark, Detroit, Laredo, and Cleveland.
Yes, I just saw Forbes magazine's list of the 10 worst cities in America.
Can you imagine those 10 cities suing Forbes magazine for putting them on the list? Crazy.
I can see it now. A warning sign on the highway entering town limits. This is Center, Colorado. No criticism allowed. Maximum fines enforced. Maria, this is just hilarious. Have the trustees flipped out because of the stress of this lawsuit?
They have been making some strange decisions.
I heard they sent more than 5 threatening letters to Mr. Jones and Citizen Center, with bizarre demands.
I wouldn't believe it if I had not read those letters myself. The town trustees have demanded that Jones, Marilyn Marks and Citizen Center not communicate with them. The trustees refuse to hear, speak or accept communications except through their high-priced lawyers.
Town trustees? They refuse communication from Jones and Marks. How can town trustees refuse to accept communication from anyone? That is crazy.
Yes. Jones and Marks have sent 3 different settlement offer letters to the trustees since April, and the trustees do not want to consider them. So they demanded no more communications from Marks and Jones. They say they will not consider a settlement unless Jones and Citizen Center beat them again in court.
Wow, I've never heard of elected officials demanding that people not contact them. Mr. Jones is on the board. How is he supposed to avoid communication with his fellow trustees?
It only gets more ridiculous. The town wrote threatening letters demanding that Citizen Center not request public records.
What? Since when can the town refuse public records requests from anyone? Anyone and any organization has the right to public records.
Center town trustees somehow concluded that if there is a lawsuit, the plaintiff loses their right to get public information.
Maria, these trustees must be trying to create a police state. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Every attorney I have talked with belly laughs. The trustees' lawyer complained to the Supreme Court to try to stop Citizen Center requesting public records to answer members' questions about the town's finances.
Wait, I'm a member of Citizen Center. Does this mean that I have lost my right to ask for public records?
That is what the trustees seem to think. They will threaten you with legal action if you try to ask for any documents that, for example, disclose the town's insurance arrangements on this lawsuit, or how much they are paying their attorneys.
What? The town is going to threaten me if I want to see how much money they are costing the taxpayers by fighting this lawsuit.
Sounds like that might be a touchy subject, so they threaten citizens with legal action to shut them up.
I guess the trustees' threats work. I had told my sister that I would go to town hall and get copies of the insurance billings and lawyers' invoices to see what this is costing the taxpayers with so many lawyers involved. But if the trustees are going to drag me into court, I will let Teresa Bender at the paper do the work instead.
Yes, Teresa had to resign from Citizen Center so that she could do her job as a reporter. She thought the town might sue her as a member of Citizen Center if she requested public records for the newspaper.
How can a member of an organization or the press, or any person, lose their legal rights to review public records?
The town's position would never stand up in court, but you could spend $25,000 or even twice that, defending your right to get records. The town's threats work, because most people don't have the money to fight back. Even small newspapers cannot afford that kind of legal defense. So they give up on requesting needed records for their reporters.
This is an outrage. Let's say that I was in jail because I was falsely accused of a crime, and waiting for my case to be heard. Our town trustees would claim that I had no right to continue to get public records to prove my innocence?
That is right. That is their position. They obviously are cracking down on access to what could be embarrassing information about this lawsuit. They figure that no one will challenge them, and they can just scare people away from reviewing town documents.
So, as a member of Citizen Center, I will be threatened if I try to review town records relating to the taxpayers' money being spent on lawyers?
It seems that way.
This sounds like North Korea or Cuba. So, under the trustees' new rules, if my church sues the town over a zoning permit for a higher steeple, then the church members cannot look at the public records about the zoning dispute or about anything related to the church. But, members of the church down the street could review public records about my church's controversial steeple, although I cannot? That makes no sense.
Yes, I'm beginning to worry about where the trustees are taking this.
It makes you wonder what they are thinking. Surely there's some kind of misunderstanding and this is not really true.
Gloria, I've seen the letters. They paid the town attorney to go to the Supreme Court complaining about public record requests from Citizen Center. I will show you the filing with the highest court. This is no joke. These are serious heavy-handed actions by our local government.
It's pretty clear that they have something to hide from the people who elected them.
Something else has been bothering me about their strange decisions recently. Remember, shortly after the court decision, they named an election committee to work with the citizens to improve election processes for future elections?
Yes, it sounded like a good idea. I volunteered to participate for my neighborhood. We have suggestions to improve communications with Spanish-speaking voters. But the town has held no meetings for the project.
Recently, trustees voted to eliminate any voter input in the process, and have not called a meeting.
They canceled their plans to work on election process improvements? As many flawed elections as this town has had? They don't think that improvement is needed? And they don't want voters' input?
Apparently not. You would think that with a decade or more of troubled elections with many voter complaints, they would want to make improvements, particularly after the disaster of the March recall.
I can't figure out what is going on in town hall. Doesn't sound like I'm going to learn much more either, if I can't see the public records.
Right. As we have been standing here criticizing Center's town government, I've been thinking that if they overheard us here in the coffee shop, would they threaten us with a defamation lawsuit?
I don't know. I'm just glad this conversation is not on video, that someone might post on YouTube.